Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Swahili Sunday. I'm just looking to see that it shows it's been deleted from the group. I don't know. Okay, I see. Eh, okay. Looks like I got the little issue with the group. It's not publishing in the group for some reason. Well, welcome to Swahili Sunday. I guess I'll have to share it over to the group. I can't seem to get it to go into the group. But this is kind of something that I want to talk about today and about what happened to my accounts and how to not give up. I don't know if you all have had that situation, but I am going to speak about that today in a few minutes, and I guess I will share this into the group from the page because for whatever reason I can't get it to connect. Yeah, it was deleted from the group, it says. I don't know. Okay, well, we'll just go with it. And anyway, if you're listening after the fact, thank you so much for listening. And I am here kind of relaxing a little bit at home, doing some work, listening. I actually was listening to the message from Saddleback Church. I've still not really returned. I go to my veterans group meeting, but I haven't returned to service. So I've been watching church online. So I was finishing that up before I started today. And it is a pretty good message. I want to go back and re listen to it because it's about kind of how to set up things to make sure that you're basically within God's will and doing the things that He wants you to do, not what you think you want to do. And it's pretty good. I need to go back and listen to that. Anyway, what I wanted to share about today is you may have heard me briefly talk about last week. I was in the middle of it where my Facebook page, the Baskets of Beads page, and my ads account was hacked. Back in November, I ran my last ad campaign. I've been running some campaigns, and when you run ads, and I was having somebody help me with it because I don't understand the whole ad thing. It starts to gather data. So you run a set of ads and it gathers data on an audience, and then you can run the same thing again, and it starts to pick up more of the data from what audience looked at your ads and things. So it gathers, and then you have a Facebook pixel, and you have all this data that's gathered in your ads account. And it okay, maybe let me try that. I don't know what's going on. No, it's just not working. I keep getting this little message. Anyway, so I ran and we were doing good. I was driving, actually starting to drive sales, and gathering more data and putting more things out there and getting more eyes on the Baskets and Beads website for people to purchase more products, which is the ultimate goal there, to enable the ladies to get into a sustainable income, because the more products to sell, the more I get to order, and that helps the ladies in the long run. Many of you know probably that I was before COVID, I was speaking and training live in person, and then COVID happened, and speaking and training really diminished. I had somebody kind of put me down, say, "Well, I was speaking more than ever online. What was the matter with you?" Okay, right, whatever. I didn't translate it to online because I was worried more about the ladies than I was about building that speaking thing out. I was really concerned about the business on that angle, so I took a corporate job to cover the business expenses. And I am grateful for that. It's hard to work a job and a business at the same time. I'm committed to 2022 and taking more time for myself. Yesterday, I went out sailing with a friend, and I took some time. The only thing I looked at my phone for was I had the WAG app, which I'm going to tell a funny story about that. I just used the WAG app for the first time. If you don't know what WAG is an app where you can have somebody come and walk your dog. It's like somebody said, it's like Uber for dogs. So you can have somebody come and walk your dog while you're out, so they don't have to stay cooped up. And for Indigo, she has to stay in the crate because if she doesn't stay in the crate, she does things like shreds mattresses. I mean, she's a Malinois Shepherd. There's a movie coming out called Dog, which features a Malinois Shepherd, and I saw the trailer and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's Indigo." So I can't leave her, like, in the house or in the room. She's 7 months old and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna destroy whatever." So she destroyed part of the mattress in the bedroom, and I actually duct taped it because it was just a little part, and she ripped the duct tape off and got into it again. So I have to put her into the crate, and I don't like leaving her in there very long. I've not left her in there. I think the longest had been like 6 hours straight. I don't like to leave her in the crate. She's used to being with me and going to the dog park, going for walks, being able to sleep. Like, she's right down there and she's sleeping right now. And was bothered earlier because I didn't take her to the PARK. And I didn't take her to the PARK because later we were going, why am I spelling it? Because she knows that word. And I didn't take her, but, we're going later. And so anyway, I was out sailing yesterday. You can see, I think I posted a photo on all the social media, and it was really nice. It was peaceful, it was calm. We saw kind of some dolphins and seals feeding, and pelicans, I guess, feeding on fish probably, and it was kind of nice, and it was just nice to be out there. So I detached from my phone other than for the WAG app. So let me tell you about the WAG app. It was good. I scheduled somebody to come and walk my dog, and he came and it said, "Oh, your walk is starting. Follow it live here." So I click on it and I followed it live. I have to read the text exactly as it came in. And you could see where he was walking her around the neighborhood. And I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And so they text you everything, all the status here of everything that's going on. So then, your walker is on their way, your walk has begun, and you've received a new message, and he sent me an update on what was going on. And then this is the exact text. Indigo just pooped, and it has a little picture of poop. Open the app to find out where. So I guess the walker clicks every time she goes to the bathroom because there was 3 little poops around the walk, and I couldn't stop laughing at that. I thought, and everybody that on the sale was just thinking it was the funniest thing. So, WAG is pretty good, and they'll tell you where your dog poops. Anyway, so, uh, anyway, that's, I suggest WAG. WAG is a good thing that you can use. But let me go back to my account. So in at the end of November or the middle of November, the ad account wrapped up, and charged, they charged my account based on the ad spend. Then, like the middle of November, I got, uh oh, okay, I see I'm getting things posted here. I got my account back. I'll explain that in a minute. Um, so this is about how I got my account back. I already got the account back. And wow, okay, I've got a whole bunch of people putting messages. Anyway, so I had got an email, or like actually 5 emails that said, "So and so just joined your account." And it was like the middle of November, where it was almost Thanksgiving time, and I kinda looked at it and I'm like, "What is that?" And then my credit card 2 days after that got charged $600 for Facebook ad spend. And I thought, "Wow, okay, this is great." And I I whoa, I don't even know what's going on. Well, it's really hard to get so then what happened then, they removed me from my ad account, they made me an employee, that I was no longer the owner of my page, and I contacted the person who, helped me with the ads, and they were looking, and they'd been removed, and they'd been didn't have access, and they couldn't see the ad account either. And then I had connected with somebody else who worked a lot of years with um with people marketing, and we spent a couple hours looking at my account and going through all of that. And then he was like, "You pretty much have to delete your page." I'm like, "Oh gosh." We spent like a couple hours going through it. You have to start a new page. You don't own your page. You can't see your ad account. You're kind of dead in the water. And I had attempted, like I said, to contact Facebook, but that was so I didn't have a page. I didn't have an ad account. So it was like I was nobody. I had no business according to Facebook. So it was really hard to contact somebody about business when you had no business. And I refused. It's like sometimes you get presented with something and you exhaust all options and it seems like, okay, this is the thing. This is just it. I have to give it up. I have to forget it. I have to just let it go. And I removed my Shopify store. I was still able to, even though I wasn't the page owner, because this other ad account that was kind of dead or whatever, something else was the page owner. I still had admin rights somehow, so I deleted my Shopify store from the Facebook page, and then I went into my Facebook account, I changed the email address that I logged in with, I changed the password, I canceled my credit card and everything, all that kind of stuff that you had to do, and I started changing passwords on all my accounts. I'm like, "Oh, great," and, uh I didn't realize until after the fact that the $600 was actually charged. I thought at first when I saw it that it was $600 charged for my ad spend, but that's what they do. They kinda waited and got in somehow and, charged it up. So, I didn't know this till after the fact. So, okay, what? There's a bunch of things here. Contact this person, contact that person. I was like, "Okay, no, I need somebody from Facebook. How am I gonna get somebody from Facebook to help me out?" Uh, Nobody could tell me how to kind of do that. It's kinda hard to navigate through uh, the 2 ad people told me, "Well, you should have a thing that says connect here," but I had no business. So because I had no business, I had no way to connect to anybody in Facebook. They just saw me as a user. I wasn't a business. But then I remembered I was invited to a special nonprofit group created by Facebook, and they had been reaching out to me to connect with them to work on doing campaigns to raise funds and how I can do that. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to start raising funds now because when I go to Kenya, which I'm going to Kenya in the 26th of May to the 11th of June, our plan is to take the ladies on a retreat. And in order to do that, I need to raise a significant amount of funds to do that. So going to be starting that soon. And I would really love to have that help on the nonprofit side to figure out how to do that. But if you can't run any ads because you don't have a business account, if you don't have an ad account anymore, you have to start from scratch or whatever. I didn't know what to do. So I posted something in the Facebook group. And see, this is where sometimes people just like, now there are times when you exhaust all avenues and you need to give up. But one thing I will say, you have to pay attention to the whisper inside. The whisper inside will tell you, "Mm-mm, don't give this up. Don't give this up." And that's what I kept feeling. I was going towards because we had downloaded all the information for the page. I was going to delete the page and start over and start from scratch, which I've created that page in 2018. And I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I've detached my Instagram account from it, everything. When I posted that in there, they connected with me. They sent me an email. They got me with a concierge. Concierge not only got my Facebook account back, but they got my page back. They removed the hackers and they refunded me the $600 that they took so what they did, they went in, they did $600 ad spend and charged it to my card. And they still had my card because I hadn't canceled it yet, but they could have, I guess, done some more, but they didn't. They just did like whatever, $600. And that was a chunk of change, so I got $600 back, I got my ad account back, I got my page back, and the hackers have been removed. I've changed my password, I've changed the email that I log into Facebook with. I didn't realize you could have two-factor authentication on your page. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do every single security measure. I have two-factor authentication when you log into Facebook, but I didn't have it on the page, and somehow maybe I clicked on something, I don't know. But they got in, they hacked me, and it was frustrating. It was very, very frustrating. I was able to get it back, but the bottom line behind that is I would not give up. And there's sometimes, like I said, you have to just let it go. But you'll know when that is, when it's time to let it go. And then there's times when you just persevere and move forward because there may be a different path that you're supposed to go down, or whatever course correcting won't work, or keep banging your head against the wall. Because some people will keep banging their head against the wall on something that isn't worth doing, or they'll go into something that isn't worth doing. For instance, many years ago, was in business with somebody, and they cut me out of the business, and they kind of cut me out of the bank accounts, took all the money, took all the product, and basically left me high and dry. Now, I could have taken that to court, but at that time and that where I was in that place, because I was an emotional wreck because of a lot of other things, I was really that's when I really started to work on myself, because I realized that I was the problem, and making choices and being with certain people and doing certain things were not getting me the things that I wanted in life. So I made a decision to go a different direction. And I made a decision that for my own mental well-being, that it just wasn't worth it, because that person would have been someone who would have kept dragging it out in court and kept dragging it out in court. And what would I have expended? I would have expended money for attorneys, I would have expended energy, I just let it go. So there's sometimes when you can walk away. Be willing to walk away is a think like a negotiator strategy. Being willing to walk away is something that you should do at times. But there are other times when you want to dig in and say, no, I'm not going to give this up. And for my ad account and my baskets and beads page, I felt like it wasn't time to let that go and give it up. Even though I was going down the path, we had saved all the data and we were getting ready to delete the page, and I wasn't going to get my ad account back. I was going to have to start from scratch. I was going down that path just in case, but inside I felt this tug at my heart, like, "Don't give it up. Don't give this one up." So I didn't. I kept looking for a way to find a solution. I was just sure that there was a solution out there, and I was able to find that solution. So, I'm going to have to remove all these comments with all this here, 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 do all this, because to, I don't need to pay somebody to get my account back. That's not something I wanna do. I don't I don't need to do it anyway. I was able to get that back, and I did it through perseverance, just keep going to find a solution. There is a think like a negotiator strategy that says squeaky wheel gets the grease. Sometimes you just have to keep squeaking that wheel until you eventually get someone to help you, which is what I did. I kept looking at different avenues. I looked to some experts, and I finally connected with somebody who could help me, and somebody at Facebook, or Meta now, I guess how it's called, and got my ad account back. So I just wanted to share about perseverance. I didn't look up the Swahili word for perseverance, but it's about just not giving up in the face of what seems like an impossibility. "Oh, this is impossible. There's no way I'm ever going to get it back." And a lot of people told me that. "Oh, there's no way you're ever going to get it back, blah, blah, blah. You just let it go." I refuse to let it go for this particular time. And how far would I have gone? That's something also in Think Like a Negotiator when you think about the prepare in advance strategy. So when I thought about at the beginning, what's my ultimate goal? My ultimate goal is to get the ad account back, get the hackers removed, get the page back, and keep going forward. And I decided how far I wanted to go with that before I even started moving into it. And even when I was ready to accept the fact that maybe I couldn't get the account back, I something inside was just like, keep going, keep going. So sometimes when you feel that you're it's like, okay, there's no way you're going to get around this, but inside you feel keep going. Don't give up. Keep going, whatever that is. But also listen to when it's like, okay, this is the time to give up. And I can't really explain what that is or how that feels, but you'll just know it's an intuitive thing. To me, I think it's the whisper of the Holy Spirit telling me to keep going one way or to not go another way. It's why I got involved in Kenya and why I keep going, even sometimes when I feel like quitting and giving up, when it's really challenging and really a struggle. And all through COVID when I was struggling to raise funds to make sure that they had food every month, but it we managed to do it from March 2020 until this past December, every month, $1,000, thanks to generous donors. And now we're going to raise some money to take them on a retreat, which they think that is impossible. They were like, it's too big for them to even believe, but they deserve it. They worked so hard and they deserve the time. Like I take time for myself. It's something I committed to, like I was saying earlier, something I committed to in 2022 is to make sure that I have time for myself because of the fact that I work a corporate job and because of the fact that I'm running a business at the same time, I can spend all my time working. And I'm grateful for my little doggie because I take her to the dog park and it gets me out of the house. Otherwise, I would go from my desk over there to maybe over here and keep on working until I fall asleep and then go to bed and get up and do it all over again. And I don't want to get to the end of my life and be like, I should have done more of this and I should have done more of that. I'm doing what I feel God called me to do, and it's going the way it's supposed to go right now. And I'm praying that one day it'll be something where I can release this job. Oh, what did I just do to my hair? Sorry. I see it on the camera. It went sticking straight up. Anyway, but I talk about the importance of having your own me time, self-care, taking some time for yourself. So, I do have a goal to do less pop-ups. It's been so nice not have to run around to a bunch of pop-up events. Those things wear me out. And, uh, I'm committed to not doing as many of those this year and doing more online sales and getting more sales in stores and things of that nature. Anyway, everybody, that's about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish up a couple things here and then we are going to go hang out with a friend and visit the doggy beach. She's still sleeping. She didn't hear it. And let her run and play and then I'll come back and do some more work this evening. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day. And remember, keep pressing on. When you feel that little voice inside telling you don't give up, don't give up. Keep pressing on. There is a good outcome at the end. All right, have a good one. Nakupenda.